Africans in the diaspora, Africans in the continent, I would like to voice my concern on something that is very critical and very damaging to the African wherever you are. And it is that lack of unity, that lack of organization. We are on 1,000 pages. First of all, I want to inform you that there's a team of Africans who are already on the ground driving a vision and rolling out a plan. The plan is called the Rapid Africa Plan, the fast-track modernization of Africa. If not rapid, then what? If not fast-track, then how? We have two boards that are already formed. The Rapid Africa Plan Board, which are the visionaries, who are the custodians of the vision of Africa, and the Rapid Africa Plan, as laid out in the plan itself. The plan is in the book, which is actually a modernization manual called the Riot Act, the African Master Reset, a Third World Modernization Bible, which I authored. And I am the president of the Rapid Africa Plan Board. I would like us to think a bit as Africans. What does it take for us to get where we want to be? It takes a vision, it takes a plan, it takes a strategy and working the plan. Isn't it logical that then we need a plan? Many people are assuming that the governments of today will build a new Africa, have a vision for a new Africa, and assuming that the African Union has the mandate to drive a new Africa. Well, I have news for you. Number one, the current presidential system in Africa is a presidency for those countries. It is not a presidency for an Africa. A United Africa itself does not exist. The African Union has not been able to unite the African countries. So then we are driving a concept of a united Africa, and we are driving the design of the structure and function of that Africa as laid out in the Rapid Africa Plan. As I said, there's a board that has been formed to set up the executive team to roll out the fast-track modernization of Africa starting from 2026. And I want to encourage you because, as Sankara said, I would like to leave this conviction that if we have a little caution and organization, we will succeed. There's no fundamental change without a certain level of madness. And this time, it is the courage to walk away from ideas that don't work anymore. We need to invent the future. The clarity of today is as a result of the madmen of yesterday. We need to invent the future. And I want to be that madman. Yes, I want to be that madman. I want to highlight to you a meeting that I attended on the 22nd of February 2017 at the World Bank. This was called the Knowledge Festival. I attended one of the sessions, and in that session, the title had to do with what can be done to develop Africa. And guess what? It was led at the front, one Chinese, and some Europeans. There were no Africans there except one who represented an organization that is driven by the Western system. And who was the audience? African students. They were planning and talking about Africa as if we don't exist. At question time, I lifted my hand and I say, you people, all these things that you are talking about, we already know. How can you talk as if we don't exist? And the moderator muffled me out. But there's one thing that the Chinese said. He said, these Africans are not united. Let's turn Africa into zones. And already a $600 billion fund to develop Africa has been put together. And by who? By the Chinese. And he said, you know what that translates to? It translates to about $1 trillion. It translates to about $1 trillion of private capital. In other words, China has already put together a system that is driven by a public fund and a private free market capital of at least $1 trillion. That means the Chinese have a plan for an industrial onslaught and rollout of industries on Africa. The Chinese in 2015 and 2017 sat down with the Europeans, blind Europeans, and convinced them that they could unite and form a global financial powerhouse. What the Chinese didn't say is that we already have a plan and you don't. And so effectively the Chinese have moved the functionality of Western capital, applied functionality, in other words, something that can be applied today to China. So China has moved the capital, or some of a proportion of the capital, its leadership and management into China. And now that financial base is now rolling out and parceling capital to Chinese industries to go and occupy Africa. Last year, there was this Africa-China summit and China pledged $50 billion. Did you see that money in the hands of the African? And what projects are they driving? Are they African projects? We need to wake up, my brothers. And now, if we're not careful, there's going to be another Afro-Chinese summit that does not benefit the African. The leadership has not realized that these meetings are delegalizing, to a certain extent, of the occupation of Africa by China at the economic space. They have even convinced some of the existing leaderships into creating this affront to the Western nations so that Africa can be left to the walkover by the Chinese. This is reality, my brothers and sisters. I say to you, we need to rally behind a plan. One plan, one Africa, one vision, one modernization movement. Where is it? Do you have one? And I say, yes, we do. The Rapid Africa Plan, the fast-track modernization of Africa. What is left right now is to organize ourselves and work the plan. In that process, we are structuring an umbrella process to drive the unity of Africa. Only when we're united, we become the most powerful force on the globe. Africa is packaged, designed by God to be the most powerful people on the continent, economically, politically, any other which way. We are the greatest. We have the best skin color. We have the biggest land mass. We have the biggest resources. And we have the best original, organic, creative power that no other race has. Did I mention we are the original people? How then can any other race, any other people that are derived from us be superior to us? Wake up, my brothers. It's our time. It's our moment. Let's rally behind the Rapid Africa Plan, the fast-track modernization of Africa. There is no other plan. If not it, then what? If not now, then when? If not you, then who? It's our time. The next decade is the decade of Africa, and the next decade is the decade of Africa, and the next decade is the decade of Africa, and all the decades to come are the decades of Africa. Africa is the ultimate leader, is ultimate power. We are the power. We are the story of today and the future. Thank you very much. Hannington Mubaiwa, the president and the architect of the Rapid Africa Plan, the author of the Riot Act, the African Master Reset, a Third World Modernization Bible. Thank you and be blessed in the next 40 years as we launch the fast-track modernization of Africa so that Africa will lift itself up from an underdeveloped continent to a first world, highly technologicalized continent of a great people that we are. And people of the global table, they'll be asking for permission to speak from us. Forward with Africa.